Thank you so much for joining. So I hope today you're so excited because I am. We're talking about stress, specifically financial stress, but also how to cope, especially when you're experiencing financial stress. And the confession for today is you're broke, bills are billing. What's your secret survival skill that has kept you alive? So here you're thinking those days where you were really broke and you needed to survive. There's a story of there was a time I was in a matatu and one of the conductor was telling me that the reason why he doesn't have Pochi la Biashara is because people save numbers, like Safaricom or M-Pesa as a number, and then they show him the message. So when he comes, it's like, oh yeah, you've sent, but there's nothing sent. So I kind of thought about that, and I was like, at this particular moment, I was thinking this person was probably trying to survive, right? So I'm very curious to find out what people have done to survive.
I don't think I have a life hack that has reached that.
Yes.
I'm saying I don't think I have a life hack that has reached that point. I've never thought of that. See, a secret survival skill that has kept me alive.
Yeah.
Me, I have one.
Mm-hmm.
Visiting relatives and harvesting.
What do you mean?
Like you just go to relatives' house and then you just pack what they have. If they have potatoes, that's what you're going with. If they have rice, that's what you're going with. Another one, going to relatives' places and overstaying your welcome. You go there, stay for 1 week until they start wondering, are you leaving anytime soon? I will leave when I can survive. Eventually, I will leave. Yeah, I've used those ones.
I had started agreeing with you there up until you're like, you're overstaying, you're welcome. I'm like, no. But I have done that.
What?
What I used to do, going to like a relative's house, and getting. But in my defense, what I would do is I would offer my services. Like I would babysit my nephews and nieces, and then of course, every time I'm eating, I would make those comments like, well, let me eat nicely. I don't know the next time I'm able to get a nice meal like this one. You are dropping those subtle hints. So by the time you are leaving, they'll be like, oh, just pack, they'll pack for you the stuff that is in the freezer. The githeri, the mincemeat, the dengu. That one will help you survive for a while. So I will try not to overstay my welcome, but I will drop hints that, hey, I need help. And I live there with a bag full of food.
The overstaying is like, I tell them I'm coming for 3 days. They're like, yeah, you can come for 3 days. 1 week later.
Crazy. I'm wondering, people, the other people, in the chat, I'm trying to see what you're commenting. I can't see anything, so I'm wondering, have you ever experienced this? Like, have you ever tried to survive in a sneaky way?
I can't think of anything.
I think I have What?
That one, but I don't think it's anywhere near that. Okay.
What?
It's just aligning my plans to fit with other people's plans in the house. So I know someone is going to have to leave the house to go town. So Mimi, that's when you would wonder, Connie, you are also going to town? No, I just heard you were going to town that day. So now
Thank you for my friends. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh wait, there's someone who said, I survived on Fuliza and money from friends. I agree. I see how me. I feel like there was a time in my life I was just reverse calling everyone. It was like if it goes through, it goes through. I'm not buying airtime.
I've seen
Just
another
at
response.
the time.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I get that. So our coin dilemma today is da-da-da-da-da-da. You're the new intern. It's lunchtime. You can't afford takeout or office lunch deduction. You've bought you've brought your own food, but instead of joining the others, you sneak off to eat in secret. I don't know if anyone has related to this situation where you're eating your food as if you've stolen it. So I would want to ask Lorraine, where are you eating this food and what's going through your mind?
What's going through my mind? I need to eat when other people are not there. Mostly because they're judging me for carrying my own food and not like, because me, the thing I can think of is, yes, I was actually an intern, and they used to deduct money for food at the end of the month from everyone. So this gets like a company to cook, and then every day you deducted like 300, and you're thinking, hey, let's say I'm cooking at home, and I'm going to live here and then go through traffic and have to cook, and then bado nikuja. So I used to carry my own food, and then I would be judged that, hey, I don't like their food or something, but I'm just trying to save money. So I would eat really early or really late. So I'm going to go eat in that kitchen, bado, but just not at the right time. Yeah, so that was what was going through my mind. I need to eat haraka and leave.
Ah, see, I see Winnie said she has. I'm curious, what have you done? Shiro, do you relate to this? Eating in secret or not eating at all? You have food in your bag, but you're not removing it.
Yes, I've done that. I've done that a couple of times.
Hmm.
So I had gone to this office to meet a person, and then they started saying the way they're ordering. The orderings different from where me, I had carried my food in the bag. I kept quiet. They're like, you don't want anything? I'm like, no. I'm not hungry. I'm good. I'm good. And then their food took time. It took like 1 hour, 30 minutes plus before it arrived. And then I'm like, I had carried some fruits. I don't know if you guys want to eat with me, but I'm going to eat some fruit. Before I do it, I had removed everything I had in my bag: pancakes, sausages, and fruits. So, and we all shared in the office. But I don't know why I was feeling embarrassed in the first place. Like, you see, when they were ordering food, I could have just said, no, I've carried my own food, I'm fine. Why did I need of? I'm not hungry, and I was.
Were they assuming that you would, like, it was obvious that you would also have to order the same way they're ordering?
I think so. Because we're like, oh, let's order Ethiopian so that we all share in a platter. I don't have to for Ethiopian. I don't.
Oh man. And then now I'm asking.
I've seen someone writing eating gederi in the name of healthy. I feel whatever you need to get through. Even like mixing starch off with water for it to last. I've done that too.
What is Irish potatoes? Samosas? What are those?
I think it's samosas but with viazi inside. Right?
Oh, like the way you have samosas with like dengu.
Yeah.
Instead of that, you have
Yeah.
Actually, yes.
There's a comment of intermittent. Fasting.
Fasting.
Yeah, that one I relate. You don't eat.
Mm.
Oh man, it's crazy. So now I want to pose a question to a guy because we have like I feel like there's a lot of female voice. So I wanna pose this question to my good friend Plante. Hi Plante.
Hey, you.
Hi. It's so good to hear your voice.
Pleasure.
So we wanted to, or rather, I want to ask you, have you ever made a money saving choice that left you feeling ashamed or exposed, or there's some emotion that came, but now we want to know, have you ever made a money saving choice that left you feeling somehow?
You know the problem that comes.
Hello?
Is it my internet or yours?
Oh yeah, it's on his side. But I'm curious, like, when you're making those money saving choices, like carrying your food to the office, what are you feeling? Because I remember an office in Upper Hill, and during Fridays, I remember Fridays people used to order takeouts like KFC, what. Me, I was an intern at that point. I was carrying food to save money. And I remember when people were ordering, sometimes I used to feel so bad. Like I'm asking myself, why can't they just have money to spend like the way they're spending? So yeah, I'm curious to know. I don't know if Plante is back.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. You're back.
Yeah. So I was saying.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm trying to use the phone right now because the laptop was just doing its thing. So what I was saying,
Mm.
like, the problem that comes with being an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
is people assuming that you have money all the time.
Rich.
Like rich people, yeah, like you're a billionaire. So now,
Mm.
well, that time it wasn't like I couldn't afford rent of a good place,
Mm.
but it was in 2020, and I was just trying to get a house
Mm-hmm.
just for me alone,
Mm-hmm.
and I just checked like a house for like $100 was quite. Like, by the way, for people who don't know, I live in Kigali, Rwanda. Like we're not in Kenya. So at that time in 2020, I was trying to get a house for like $100,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, I was just like, it just looked like the range of houses from like $30 to $100. They are the same. The problem is just the neighborhood, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I paying $100 for the same house? So I went for the like $35 house,
Mm-hmm.
but it was the neighborhood. The neighborhood, you will pass through some tunnels, and so it wasn't like a pretty place somebody can visit you in. And I spent quite like almost a year and a half in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, if I tell you like nobody came to visit me there, I'll always visit people. I always
Oh,
made sure I'm meeting people at their place.
smart. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then some people will be concerned about maybe the person you're dating. They'll be like, oh, you bring that person there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
People will be like, yo, you bring that the other person we know there? I'm like, yeah. But it was quite a time of
So
I would
are you
say interesting. Sorry?
I'm asking, are you saying that money saving choice made you ashamed? Because I'm thinking you don't want people to come to where you are. Is that shame?
It is shame. But it's like you made a choice, but then you're like, the way people perceive me, and then them coming finding me here.
Mm.
At the time, I had a job that I was working in one of the good tech companies in the country,
Mm-hmm.
and their office was like quite opposite to Mastercard Foundation office. So
Mm-hmm.
quite a fancy one. So people thinking where you working from,
Oh
like,
yeah.
the connection didn't mix, right? So I was
Yeah.
like, no. Hey, people would think I was interested in visiting them,
Ah.
I was a very good friend that time.
Oh man. I'm very curious. Laureen, what are your thoughts here?
Imagine me, I'm thinking, okay, what about now? Because I feel like it still kind of happens,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not really not how do I explain it? Like
Mm.
I feel like these days I'm a lot more conscious of what people are going through. So
Mm.
now even when I visit people, I don't want to like I'm like I know food is expensive. So I'm wondering there's the other if there are other people who are also thinking of the other side when now you're the visitor. Me, I don't mind visiting you in wherever it is that you live, but now I'm a lot more conscious with everyone, no matter where they stay. Like I'm a lot more conscious on the impact of the financial impact of me visiting.
Ah, interesting.
I eat like I eat partly at home so that at least when I go, I'm not that hungry. I'm not like I don't know.
Ah, interesting. I've never thought about that. Because
Right? Like I don't know. I don't know if it's a. It can be seen as being empathetic, but it can also not be necessarily a good thing. Because nani ameniambia siwezi kula full meal kwa mtu mwingine, you know.
yeah, it's so interesting. I've never thought about the other person. Like food is expensive. Yo.
Yes, I think about it a lot. You can have pangad your food the entire week. You know exactly what you're eating, and then I'm here coming to ruin your mouth.
Crazy. Okay, now I feel like we should do an exercise. We should do a game, right? So everyone should if you can put your camera open, that would be really dope. You put your fingers up like this. So I'm gonna read a statement, and if you relate to it, you put a finger down, right? Okay. So put a finger down if you've ever snapped at someone over something small, or later realize that you are just overwhelmed. Put a finger down if you've ever felt like crying for no reason. Put a finger down if you've ever canceled plans because you just couldn't people that day. Put a finger down if you've ever felt like you had to stay strong for everyone, even when you were struggling. Put a finger down if you've ever felt guilty for resting like you have to earn it. Put a finger down if you've ignored calls or messages because you didn't have the energy to talk. Put a finger down if you avoided checking your bank or M-Pesa balance. Put a finger down if you had constant headaches or body tension and you didn't know why. Put a finger down if you've ever lost sleep over thoughts about money. Put a finger down if you feel tired even after sleeping. Put a finger down if you've lost your appetite or eaten too much because you were overwhelmed.
We don't have any more fingers.
We have just 10 fingers, yo.
You can use your toes. Last one. Put your finger down if your heart starts racing when you think about your to-do list.
Come
So
again?
put a finger down. Oh, wait, just a minute. Put a finger down if your heart starts racing when you think about your to-do list. That's the last one. So you are supposed to look at how many fingers you've put down. There's some people who have 11 fingers.
Some of us we are using our phones at this point.
Yeah. So here's the thing: you're not alone. So there was a study that was done by Cigna Vitality. By Cigna Vitality. So essentially, vitality is the measure of how energetic, engaged, and optimistic people are. So 100% of the Kenyans who answered the survey answered that they were feeling burnt out. And what I was reading before, there are signs of burnt out and stress. But here is the paradox. The same people who, all of them answered that they were burnt out, scored 79.9%, or 79.9, which is above the global average of 68. So here, the point is of all these statistics is, even when people are burnt out, they're actively seeking ways to cope and keep going. So it's crazy that Kenyans were scoring very high points in feeling burnt out, but also very high points in showing that they are energetic and engaged. And the reason why they scored 79.9% is, number one, apparently Kenyans have this thing where they love learning. So their love for learning keeps them going because they keep on learning something new every time. And then the second thing that made them score very high in vitality is because there's this hope that the next day is always better. So you're like, I'm sleeping today, tomorrow, it's a new day, or nikuoga na kurudi soko. Like, it's always about showing up for the next time. So because now we know we are not alone, right? Out of this, I want to invite Linda to demystify financial.
Let me just say, first on this one, but let me just comment on that survey. It's getting to see, I think as Kenyans, we joke about so many things. The way we always say, nikuoga na kurudi soko. But if you think about it, it's the whole mindset behind it is, I am not going to give up. There's always, I am going to fight forward. I'm not going to fold. I think for me, this is it's in our DNA. So in as much as maybe you're here and you're thinking, well, bills are coming, end month is here, there's pressure, you are not sure where it's coming from. You can see, one, you are not alone. And two, so long as you've breathed Kenyan air, I guess you don't have to be Kenyan, it's in the air here. So if you have been here, it is somewhere within you that you can fight, you will look for solutions. So we are not giving up. I think this is very encouraging for most of us, especially when you're talking about financial stress.
Yeah. And kuoga na kurudi soko for my diaspora friends, it's you shower and go back to the market. It's basically go freshen up and.
My God, that is direct translation. It is dusting yourself off and moving forward.
Yes.
You have just done direct translation.
But you shower first before you meet people.
Okay. Yeah. So it is basically, the way they say, dust yourself off and move forward. Yeah. So I guess you dust yourself off. In Kenya, we say you shower and then you move on with life. I guess. And I think maybe that's also like one of the ways we should approach financial stress in some sort of way, in as much as we laugh about it and everything, because financial stress in a way is the pressure, the worry when you're looking at what you have and you're feeling that this is not even enough to cover my needs. It's not enough for any emergencies that I might, or as my personal translation. Yeah, it's not enough to cover your needs, the things that you're trying to work towards, and that brings the pressure. So when you are doing all the fingers up, there's one thing I don't do is I check. I didn't put my finger down for that one. I always check my M-Pesa balance, my bank balance. Like, I want to know when I'm about to get into survival mode, which is very important. Yeah, so that if I need to save a little bit of money to make that trip to my cousins or, some rela, so I can help with babysitting and get some food, I am able to budget for it when I still have a little bit of money. So if you don't check, you'll just find yourself at some point, you're like, imagine I have nothing. I am. So please, let's have our fingers down for most of those things if we have to. I'm sure we have. But the one we should always try to make sure we keep up is to track our money. So we can always sort of like get ourselves ready in some way for any financial stress when we're not able to. So how do you, that I think for me is my definition, that worry, that uncertainty that comes with you not being able to meet, and I say one of the reasons is, I guess, again, you've not managed to track, because at least when you track, you can see yourself walking there and trying to see, is there another route that will prolong the eventuality, and in between you can be able to do something. Yeah.
Before we go to the next slide, I think, thank you for saying about the fingers, because now I'm thinking, when we were dropping the fingers, what really hit home, because those are symptoms of financial stress, right?
Yes.
And I'm curious, 10, like, when you drop the finger, which one really hit home? Which finger? Like, what was the prompt for you?
Do I remember all of it? But there was something about like sleeping and thinking about money, or even like sleeping and waking up tired. But you're still tired. Like, why? I think that one really, I've been feeling it lately. So, yeah, it was straight to the head.
Is it because of money?
Yeah, there's one that you are sleeping and you're not thinking about money, or you're thinking about money. Yeah, you've lost sleep over thoughts about money. There you go.
Interesting. Okay, so because now I feel like financial stress seems like something we've experienced. I feel like as long as at some point you're spending money and there's money coming out, and maybe it's not coming in as fast as it's supposed to be, or it's not coming in at all, there's some form of stress. So I'm very curious, for as we are navigating these financial stressful times, because life happens, and sometimes, as much as you prepared for it, there's some stress. So how do you start making room for dignity while navigating these financial limitations? How do you go and eat your ugali when people are eating KFC and not feel like you're quote unquote less than, or I don't know, you are not supposed to be in the room? You know that feeling where people are spending money and you're feeling funny because you don't have how do you make room for that?
What? Okay. I'm just trying to think, having gone through a bit of that myself, and now being older, and I guess maybe slightly wiser, just from life experiences and my experience as well as a coach. I think the first thing is you get to a point where you realize, like, you are not defined by what you're eating, you're not defined by your income, what you're earning. So I say, the older you get to realize some of these things are actually just in your head. Yeah. Like, you can get to the point where you're comfortable enough to sit there and remove your gully and you eat. Yeah. But that comes also with time. So it is fast. I think mindset is very important, especially when you're thinking about your finances and dignity and all that. Your mindset, having that mindset to say, you know what, I know maybe there's in a group of like 10, maybe there are like 3 of them who look at me and thinking, what is she doing eating ugali and everyone else is eating, or feeling wishy, and then you start feeling like, people are feeling sorry for you. But out of that group, there's also another set of people who probably have gone through what you're going, and they understand what phase of life you're in, and they will let you be, you'll eat, you'll finish, they'll engage you. Maybe if they feel like, if you want to taste, you can have a taste of theirs, but it won't be like, oh my God, no, what is she trying? Why is she doing that? All that. So it's placing, but it has to start with you. So you have to be the one to realize, you know what, I'm not defined by that. So it's and once I don't know, you end up exhuming it, like the way you carry yourself, you find yourself very confidently removing your chapati, your ugali and skuma, and eating and moving on with life, and that. But then again, I think as well, it's for you yourself, for you to maintain that dignity, regardless of the financial limitations you're having, is to look at it on what can I be able to simplify. And you're simplifying. Remember, at the end of the day, you're always told, judgment day for those who are Christians, you'll stand alone. So when you're simplifying your life, you're trying to see, these are my limitations. This is what I have to work with. If that means I have to take a bit of a walk from the office so that I can take a mat 3 bus stops away so I can pay less money, do that. But you're simplifying it. You're being intentional about simplifying that whole process. And it's for you. And so long as you believe that just because you're simplifying, it doesn't mean that you have stopped, that you're losing all hope and everything. There are ways that you can be able to do it. And I think what as well I've seen working and I've shared with my clients is also when you're navigating this phase of your life, it's always good to know who to ask for help. Because there are people you will ask for help, and they will strengthen you during that phase. They'll give you the support and everything. But there are people who you're going to ask for help from, and it will just be like, hey, this is their chance to be able to pin you down. Like, hey, so what were you doing? Why didn't you, why are you not saving? You must be doing that because you're wasting money. Why can't you take a cab? And Uber, just Uber yourself home. It's raining and all that. So it's always good to know, and this is the importance of understanding the people around you. So you're able now to figure out how to, who can I be able to ask? Who will provide me with the support? Who's going to motivate me, even as I'm navigating through this? Because they're the people now who will help you to reclaim that control that you have. At times they will plug you in, like if you have been plugged by someone for this session, maybe they saw it and they were like, this friend of mine would benefit from this. Those are the people who you need to have in your circles who will strengthen you, as opposed to trying to pin you down or keep reminding you all the time. Like, hey, Jana, you had the galley today, you have, or Jana, you worked today, you're also working, and all those things, always trying to think of something that will bring you down. But again, even when you're on this phase, always keep building a plan. Just never stop. As I've said, for me, I always say when it comes to dignity, it's not about what we have, it's how we carry ourselves. It's a lot about how we carry ourselves. You have seen people who are in very expensive clothes, carrying very expensive bags, but you just look at them and there's just something off about them. But there's someone who, they have like 2 shirts, but they are they are very keen on keeping that habit of hata kama ni moja, I will wash it, I will earn it. We've had these stories, I will wash it, I'll earn it, I'll show up at work tomorrow in that white shirt, black trousers. It could even be for the whole week, I have 2 shirts. But when you look at that person, you would not believe that it's someone who has 2, because you're not seeing. So there are ways you can be able to keep your dignity without really being able to compromise your values, especially for you to be able to make ends meet and keep. Honestly, the minute you stop, it becomes very hard to start. So in as much as you're going through a hard phase in your life, there's always a plan that you're building, and you need to keep that alive. You simplify, but don't stop. Because now trying to come back and start all over again, we are all humans. It's very, very, it's very, very hard. So for me, it's just, if anything, just remember, dignity is not what you have, what you're eating, what you think other people are thinking about you. It's you. it is inherent in you, the values that you have, and all that, the small things that you do to just maintain your dignity, to maintain your values, are very, very important. And most of them are not expensive. Yeah. So if you just think about that exercise, what you're talking about,
Yeah.
three things that you can do that not necessarily require you to spend any money. And me, I tell you, the things that I do that give me joy. My daughter gives me slack for this, but I like affirmations, where I tell myself, yes, I am beautiful, I am doing amazing work, all those things. Sometimes that's positive input, it fuels positive energy. And me, I believe that. So I will tell myself, even if I'm not looking at myself in the mirror, if I'm going to make a speech and I'm not so sure how it's going to turn out, I will give myself those ones. I like just taking time to arrange my clothes and my shoes, because I tell myself, in that way, I will get to know, Kube, this and this can go together. I can try. I don't have to get a whole new wardrobe from that. And then I walk. Walking will keep me fit. When I walk, I have this thing of trying to listen in, eavesdropping on other people's conversations. Sometimes, they make you forget your problems as you're walking. I don't pay anything to walk. No, I just leave my house, walk a bit. I'll follow the people who maybe are going to work in the morning and all that, or coming back in the evening and listening to their stories for the day, laughing, inwardly behind them. It's free. It's free. I'll get home.
Entertainment.
Those things. So just things like those. And I think it's very important for us to look for those things that can help us to, maintain our dignity, give us joy without really having to think. It has to be going to a nice restaurant and eating like a 6-course meal, or going on a trip somewhere. Some very simple things can actually bring joy.
I'm very curious, but before I give my interjection, there was Steve raised his hand. I don't know if ready to chime in.
I wanted to interrupt Linda, but she said everything very well. The only thing I just have to add is no one really cares about you. Whatever you have, whatever thoughts you have in your head, no one cares about you. There's a story I once told of a guy. He built one of the largest CRB companies in the country. But before he did it, there's a lady who told me, I met that guy and I was standing behind him in line, and his shirt, the back of men's shirt, the way it gets finished. So he had print and tilt and even gone till the back. But the guy was standing there and he gave his presentation. And he said, I am building a CRB module that will take over this country. And she looked at him and said, this guy with this shirt of his. But she never mouthed it, obviously. But 2 years later, he had built one of the biggest CRB platforms, because every day he was focusing on himself. No one cares about you. They'll think whatever they want to think. And it's only your friends who will actually come out and tell you, hey, you've been eating ugali for 2 days, I'm buying you lunch today. And you'll be happy. The rest will work out.
So you're saying it's all in your head?
It's all in your head. It's all in your head. But obviously, your head gives you a lot of stress at times, just like you're saying right now.
Affirmations.
Imagine, I don't agree with you guys. I don't think it's all in your head. When people are planning to go on a trip and you can't afford, literally, you feel like you can't afford, you can't join them. It's not in your head. You're not part of the group.
But what are you telling yourself? This is what I normally say. You cannot afford it, but you cannot afford it now. Yeah? It does not mean you will never afford it. You can only not afford it now. So it is then up to you to make the change. And that's why when I talk about mindset with people, I always tell them it's very, very important to add that word yet to everything that, because yet brings a possibility. So when you say, I can't afford it, full stop, then that means even you've created a barrier. You've said, that is it. I'm not even going to try. I won't do anything. But the minute you say, no, I can't afford it yet, means the next time, and this is what I even tell my kids, when if we can't go somewhere now, who knows? 5 years, 3 years down the line, when we can afford, there'll be like a new aquarium, there'll be bigger things, better things built there. So we'll enjoy it better, and then, it will be the right time. So yet is very important. I can't afford it now, but I'm going to work on something so that next time when that place, there's even a newer place that has opened up that is better, better facilities and all that, I will be able to afford it then.
Mm.
Can I say something before she finishes? It's not exactly the main issue. The kiwari in your throat, you know that bad feeling you have. I will afford it, yes, but right now.
Oh yeah, then no,
It is okay. It is okay to have those feelings. I'm not saying don't, but yes, let them be like a fuel, at least to get you to understand that yes, this is a phase that you are going through. Feel, I know, I always say, feel your feelings. Don't try to ignore them. Just feel them. That kiwaru is there. You are human. You will feel it. But then from there, just what can you do beyond the feeling is what is very important.
Interesting. So I want to read a bit of comments before we go to the next slide. Eugene says, I think it's from the previous slides. Eugene says, interesting financial impact when you visit someone. That might help for those who love overstaying. Shiro, have you had? Fabrice Manzi says, fingers down. I think all his fingers were down. Ragma, having hope for the next day. For the next day, it will be better. I agree. Optimism all the way. Lorraine said, Linda, I need you as my personal translator. I like that. I like that. Not feeling deserving of rest. Hit home. I agree. Me too. Delicacy. Ugali is a delicacy. It's not supposed to be a washe food. I agree, because there was a time KFC they were trying to do ugali. They were trying to sell ugali fries. So I agree. I agree. For me, I think it's the feeling of feeling like an outsider, like you don't belong. I get that. I think so too. I love ugali. Me too. Ugali is a staple. I settle cravings with ugali. Now I'm kind of want to ask how many people are eating ugali today. Rakma, understand which kind of friends you have, not just a lot of friends who don't support you when you're in need. I agree. Know your circle. Kananu says, who you ask for support is important for real. Some will help, then gossip about you to others. I know that. Like, you tell someone your problems, and then you're breaking news to other people. Ironing clothes makes a huge difference. I agree. Affirming yourself. No one cares about you. I like that. Beryl says, so I come from a city where waiters, waitress treat customers depending on how they are dressed. How can someone handle poor treatment from such people? Crazy. I don't know who's gonna take that. And then Lorraine says, I agree with Steve. At the end of the day, no one cares if I wore the same trousers thrice in a week. They have bigger problems than my trousers. I like that. Plante and Steve raised their hands. So I'm gonna give you 1 minute each so that we can keep time. So Plante, what did you wanna chime in?
Well, I just wanted to talk about how Shira says,
Yeah.
like it's all in your head, it doesn't exist. Like it's actually there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of the times when you don't go to a trip, it's mostly because like the bigger problem, it's not that you're not going. It's because you think they can see right through you that you don't have money.
Yeah.
Because if you said no and you had money, you wouldn't feel a problem.
True.
So most of the times it's all in your head because you are thinking people are seeing right through you. And they don't most of the times.
Wow. That's
So, yeah, so
interesting.
that's the comment I just wanted to make.
That's actually true. When you have money and reject things, you don't feel it's like, yeah. Oh, interesting. Steve?
No. It's good. I think he just captured everything.
Okay. It's all in your head. I'm gonna take that with me. So the next one, I want us to play a game, another game. We're calling it unspoken expectations. So I'm gonna read a statement. You can put your camera on, right? I'm gonna read a statement. If you've related to it, either you relate to it, you believe it, you've had it, if it's familiar in any way, I want you to put a thumbs up. If it's you've never had it, you are hearing it for the first time today, you put a thumbs down. Those are the instructions. The idea is I want you to see how many things you carry with you. This is I think we're gonna conclude later, but yeah, play this with me. So I'm gonna read the statement. Statement 1. Sometimes being born the firstborn means being part-time parents. How many people feel it's familiar? Next, when you're the one who makes it, you owe it to uplift your family. 3. Money talk is for adults. Children are just dependents. A man must pay for dates or he's not serious. Men don't need financial help. They need respect. Love can wait until your wallet is ready. You shouldn't marry someone who earns less than you. Resting when you're broke is laziness. Being burnt out is proof that you're trying hard enough. Rest is something you earn only after the grind is done. Saying no to unpaid internship is ungrateful. Work-life balance is a luxury for people who have made it. So, out of those 12 prompts, how many thumbs up did you do? On average, I want to see numbers. How many did you put up? I'm curious.
For me, I can say I put up a lot of them because they were familiar. I've had them before, but not necessarily agree with them. I feel like some of them are because of my stresses, especially that one. Like you said something about like being burnt out or resting is a reward. You have to earn it.
Oh, burnt out is proof that you're trying hard enough.
Yeah, there's some days where I'm waking up and I'm not feeling burnt out, and I'm like, I've not done anything today. I've not been productive.
I relate. When I'm not feeling so fatigued, I feel like I haven't produced enough for the nation.
Yeah, and that's I've had it before. Like there's a whole book, Black Girls Must Die Exhausted.
Oh, there's
That's
someone
my
who
current
said
read,
that
actually.
something is an effect of our school system.
What?
There's sometime back someone was saying that it's kind of a side effect of our schooling system. I can't remember the reasoning why, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree with, but there are some that I actually agree. Like men need to pay. If they don't pay for dates, they're not serious. It's familiar, and I agree with that.
For this one, I was trying to see what the men say. I was really trying to peep to see do they agree with the statement, or do they think no, it's we need to go 50-50 on this.
Manzia said yes. There's another one. There's also another one. Men don't deserve help, they deserve respect. I was half and half about that one because I've had people say when you help men, they'll start treating you badly because now you're the mother. They need to look for the girlfriend.
Hey,
You've taken the responsibility of taking care of him. So the respect he had for you, no, he look for someone who respects him as a man, who can provide. So now I'm torn. Do I help a man in financial help who needs financial help, or do I respect him to figure it out?
You cannot respectfully help.
How do I do that?
Wait, I have to jump in.
I'm still in shock.
Let Plante go first. His hand was up.
Plante, yes?
Okay. One, a man must pay for dates or he's not serious. I think there are so many things to it. One. Why are you laughing?
Good. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think I think the main idea is whoever proposed the date should pay. For me, that's what my understanding. Why are you inviting me if you're not paying? Do you know if I have money or not? But most of the times, it's the guys who propose a date. If you ask me out, then why are you not paying? Why do you expect me to pay for the things you got in your mind, right? That's one. Two, I think it kind of comes back to how close you are with another person. Because sometimes it might be a student. Because most of the times it's like guys, like they're mostly age differences. Men are usually older most of the time. So sometimes you find a person not necessarily having some money, but then you just feel like you have to pay because you know this person doesn't have money. But then at the same time, I feel like there are people, I've noticed there are times where women just feel like they just need to pay all the times, like it's that trauma kind of thing. It's like, why do you have to pay all the time? Like, you're overthinking. You think I'm buying you? No, it's just, you can buy this time, I can buy next time. Like, it doesn't matter. It depends on how, to some level, you live with a person or you are connected to another. But all in all, I just think the first idea is that if you are asking for a date, you should be ready to pay the bill.
Both. You're not splitting. You're settling the bill.
It is like for me, my friends, those are the ones who do 50-50. Like if you're inviting me, like most of the times I'll be the one to say it, like to invite you on the date. But if you're inviting me and you don't have the money, or you didn't mention it before, then why do you want to eat food you can pay and you are telling me to come along with you to eat it?
Dang. Steve?
Okay,
No.
can I talk about the second point?
Okay, yeah. Your second point?
Like the men don't need financial help, they need respect. So for me, I think again, it comes back to the relationship you have with another person. But again, if we just talk about respect before we get to the financial help, well, I think it's an ego thing. Like naturally, most of the times, the bigger percentage of men would just feel like they need to feed that ego.
So?
And most of the times, when you're broke, even people give you respect, you just feel like they are faking it. So giving me financial help, if you're not my friend, like you are a stranger in my life, we don't talk about money, and then you recognize that I'm broke and you want to give me financial help, it feels more like everybody's seeing right through me. Like, why do everybody see that I'm broke? It can make you feel what. But at the same time, if it's a friend of mine, be like, okay, in shipping, I think it's a good thing. Like, it just feels like you have people who care about you. But if it's just a person we are not close in that perspective, it's a problem. You are making it worse.
Steve?
I think we all have to realize we are in the midst of great social changes. 30 years ago, our parents when they were dating, it's the men who mostly were working. But nowadays, like a lot of women are now in the workforce, they're earning even more than men or just as much as men. So what's happening is that a lot of us haven't realized that what was working before has to change. Has to change. Otherwise, we'll be stuck in an older traditional mode that will not work for most of us.
Right.
If you want to date someone,
Mm.
or you want to ask someone out and you have the
Mhm.
money, ask them out, take them out. Along the way, they will realize if they reciprocate, they will also be willing to invest also in that relationship. But if
Mm.
you're waiting for a guy to ask you out and he's going to pay as well in these financial times, you will keep on waiting.
In these financial times, I want to read a comment from Kananu. She says, she's talking about the firstborn, this one. One, although I'm not a firstborn, I have seen the financial pressure of firstborn in many families. Like the parents expect them to make it and support them in retirement and bring them out of poverty. That one I know. Like my brother, I call him Baba Mdogo, like my younger father, because that's the role he plays. So that one I relate. Our school
Yeah.
system is not good, Aki. Ragma, I relate. Lorraine says, I think this whole thing can be solved by having honest conversations.
Mm. Let me
I
just, I want to comment on Kananu's because I guess I am in that group. I am not a firstborn, but I get treated as a firstborn. And one thing I think for me, and I share this with most people, when we're in that position, you have to look for ways that you can get yourself out of it. And one of the key ways of trying to get yourself out of it, because you can't keep helping, you know, the way I told you, you can't keep fishing for people. You have to teach them how to fish. So
Right.
it's one, or of course, look, what is it I can do? So if it's my younger siblings and I can be able to, I'm in a position I can be able to help them go to college, try and get them work somewhere, do that. So then you get them off your list of dependents. If it is your parents, try and see what it is you can be able to do to set them up, and then rally everyone else. So it's not just your own responsibility to do it, rally everyone else. Si kama tuko wengi, you know, if we are like 5 siblings, what can all 5 of us do to be able to provide? Because I think sometimes as well as firstborns, you know, the way you say, you die exhausted because you don't have those conversations. If you are first, you have your own family, you need to cater for them as well. So figure out how you can be able to teach everyone in your dependent circle how to fish, as opposed to complaining and you still keep feeding them the fish all the time. You complain and you feed. It's not. You'll get exhausted. You'll die out of frustration. You know, you will be there snapping at everyone the way we were saying, even if it's not their fault. So it's always trying to figure out what can I be able to do. This is something very many people are going through. We don't know how to get out of it, but I think that's just one of the ways. There are ways that can be done. Teach them how to fish.
Yes, Linda, there was something, I think she's called Beryl. She had talked about being profiled as poor by waiters
Yes.
and waitresses. What do you comment on that? Because again, it's all in your mind, right?
Yeah, no, I see that. No, but even like when you go, you know, the way you're like shock them with your kindness, you will see that happening. The way you can go to a restaurant and then maybe you're on queue of something and they would want to serve someone who looks like they have more money because maybe now they will get a better tip. But sometimes it could actually be in your head. And I'll tell you, once my sister was telling me she'd had an experience where she'd gone, they ordered food, the table next had ordered food, but there were white people on the next table. So when they realized the food for the white people came before theirs, of course they were like, hey, you know, discriminating, racist, what? So they called and they were about to start complaining. So they were like, yeah, but us guys, we came at the same time. You took our order here, you went and took there. Why has their food come before ours? And they realized, Sio kwa ubaya, but their food needed more time for jiko. It is not because, you know, yeah. So it's small things like those ones. And yeah, at times it cannot be in your head, but at times it is in your head. And if you seek an explanation as to why this is happening, then you realize it's not even what you thought it was. But at times, if it is, you can take a moment and school someone on the reasons why they should not be doing that. If they take your advice, well and good. If they don't, well and good, but don't jump into conclusions all the time.
I agree. I hope Beryl was helped. So I want us to take, because we're already over time, I want us to take a few minutes to answer a survey or a feedback form. We call it the coin drop. And it's just a question. And one of the questions we're asking there is, what's the one insight you're walking away with from this session? And how are you going to build a habit around it? So what's the one insight you're walking away with, and how will you build a habit around it? Because the idea is, most of the time when you think about conversation, you talk about something, ideas pop up, and you're like, oh, that's an insight. For me, like, it's not in your head. That's an insight for me. Like, that will be my new mantra. So the question now is, because it's my new mantra, how am I building a habit around it? Will that mean the next time I want to take content to promote my business, I'll be like, no one is looking at me, I'm going to take my content? Is it that the next time I'll be in a situation where people are ordering bottomless cocktails, I'll be like, okay, so that's it. I'm only taking one cocktail and that's it. What insight did you gather from this, and what habit are you gonna build around it?
Yeah. And I think it's also very important for me. This is like the most key thing, because, and we talk a lot about these things, the insights that we have shared, the conversations that we've had. It's good, it's great, because then we are becoming more and more aware. But the habits that now, the actions that we'll take after this, which will become habits, that's where now the transformation happens. The things you say from here, I want to be able to deal with my financial stress like this, so I can get financial peace, or I can build on my financial confidence. So what are one of the 2-3 things that I'm going to try and do? It doesn't even have to be many. You can pick one, but if you keep doing it repeatedly, then it becomes a habit. And then that's when you see the transformation. So not just the whole theory bit, not the insight, the awareness, they're very good, but let's purpose to be transformative. So whenever you think about this session, you're like, hey, I came out of that session. This is the insight I came out with, and it helped me start this action. And that action has got me to where I am today.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep the answers coming. I can see Rakma, Winnie. The more the merrier, because we're about to close off. I'm very curious, actually, what insights did people get? Oh, can I know? Take home, using the word yet. I agree. It's just a season. I love the financial resilience of Kenya. Viva. I like that. Yeah, I like the word yet as well. What insights are you taking home? Wanjiro, what insights are you taking home today? I'm curious.
It's all in my head. That's what I have to work on, believing that it's all in my head.
How are you gonna make it a habit, like to constantly tell yourself and believe that it's in your head?
Ugali is more delicious than KFC. It's all in my head.
Planje, what's your insight? What are you taking away with today?
That's quite a lot of things, but somebody said something about not looking like you're broke.
Not looking like your problems.
We can't look like our problems.
We can. So how are you gonna build that? How are you not gonna look like your problems?
Iron clothes.
Yeah.
That's the mindset.
Iron your clothes. Iron your clothes. Lauren?
I think I'll be okay. I don't know if it's not new, but it's more doubling down on what I was already doing. Like when okay, this might be end up being a long response, but when Linda was saying about affirmations, I was thinking about how I meditate. Then, but I was trying to remember when I started it, and it was in campus. I was telling myself, let me just romanticize my life. Why not? The sun looks so nice today. It's such a nice day.
Yeah.
I was just enjoying nature, and I'm literally just walking to class. But
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to do more of that, even though we're going into July.
I can see Eugene, Miriam. Yeah, your voice matters. Linda, your parting shots. What are you walking away with in this conversation on mind and money?
The bit for saying no is me saying no does not mean I'm being ungrateful. I know we spoke about it in terms of internships, but for me, I'm just speaking about it in terms of life, because part of the reasons why we experience some or most of the financial stress that we do is because we do not say no. So you're taking on everything, other people's problems that you shouldn't, when you have yours. So it's getting to understand those boundaries for me. So and being able, like I don't have to explain, but it's knowing where my limits are, which as a first girl is I'm still learning, but I am making it a habit now to say no to the things I know I can't take on, or just saying not yet. Like for now, I am concentrating on this. I will get to you if I do, but for now, I'm not able. I don't have the capacity to take it on. I think that is something I want to build into a habit where I'll be able to say it without feeling like I'm letting someone else down or other people down and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Winnie, I see you. For you, it's all in your head. And that's what you've learned, to be content. I like that. Shiro, romanticize your life. Manzi, yet one word. Lorraine, yeah, romanticize it kabisa. Those flowers are beautiful. The sky is so blue today. I think these are the small joys, the 3 small joys. So thank you so much. I've just realized we didn't introduce ourselves. So it's presenting FinFund Limited. We are a gamified community engagement company. We gamify things. We gamify webinars like this. We gamify connections, meetups, engagement. So anytime you wanna have a good time, connect with people, even in ways that you didn't know, or have conversation that you didn't know that you could have with strangers, we are your people. And then we had our lovely finance wealth advisor, Linda Makatiani, always with the small wise pieces of wisdom. So in case you wanna have someone to work with you in your finance journey and kind of tell you like eka pesa hapa, see like your money habits, analyze and kind of give you a plan on how you can be wealthy, Linda is your girl. Yeah. Oh yeah, Shiro is saying we also have
Thank
games
you.
and we sell them. We do have games and we sell them. So reach out on our social media. We didn't want to take too much of your time, but yeah, this was really nice.
I've seen some of my clients here, so thank you for joining in.
Whoop, whoop.
Asanteni. Yeah.
Thank you. I hope everyone took something today.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Rahma saying we should have a WhatsApp group to talk more about this.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, we plan on having these conversations at least on a monthly basis. So I think it's also good. Share with us what else you think that we can be able to talk about, and make them nice, easy, relatable, and fun. Because when we make it nice and fun and engaging like this, it becomes easier to remember. And yeah, so that is our main aim with this, is to simplify and make them relatable and as engaging as we can. No, it's not all serious, hakuna mtu amevaa tie hapa, you know, we don't have ties. We are all let loose and let's talk.
Yeah, let's talk. Shiro, you wanted to say something? Were you raising your hand or what?
And thank you for showing up.
I'll see you next month. Let's see each other next month.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. Have a nice evening.
Bye. Have a nice night. Bye.